Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the opening practice session for the 2020 Spanish Grand Prix. I'm Joshua Birch. You're listening to Watch Along commentary here on the YouTube channel around the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, 2.82 miles long, 3 sectors as per usual, 2 DRS zones, top speed of 210 miles an hour. 30-meter elevation change. That's at the highs at turn 9 and 10. Let me tell you, it's deeper than it looks. Last year at the race start, the two Mercedes went side by side with Sebastian Vettel. Vettel coming out worse and getting swamped by his teammate and Max Verstappen. Turn 4 in 2019, Raikkonen versus Kvyat. Kvyat pulling off one of the greatest moves I've seen at this circuit, right round the outside. And in turn 12, well, Barrichello versus both of the Schumachers, Ralph and Mick. Schumacher, but senior, really, of Michael, falling back as Barrichello did a do-or-die move up the inside. The 3 tyre compounds are the same as last weekend, the C1, the C2 and the C3. And we could see a little bit more interesting tyre blisters as we are here for the first time in August. It's the Spanish heat. We're in Spain, and Ian Birch alongside me in the commentary box. Good afternoon or good morning, Dad. No Megan this weekend. This is one of her allocated races that she's not doing. So we're with each other for this weekend. It's going to be a good race.
Well, hopefully she's listening. If she is, hiya.
Hello, Megan.
Hiya to Kellyanne as well, if she's listening.
Yeah, I think he's sending in as well. We've got loads of people around here. Get your questions in. Use the hashtag JB Motorsports.
That looks like the cloud is dissipating.
Yeah, just above. It was raining this morning.
So, hopefully the rain of earlier on, which was only slight.
Yep.
Right. Just ruined an interview, but it wasn't ours, so we don't care.
Yeah, we're fine with that.
We were watching it. Anyway.
It looks to be an interesting weekend, as it's given me serious nostalgia looking around at the mountains, of course, because I've been to this circuit.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. I've been to this circuit. I did pre-season testing last year. I stood stood across the barrier there at turn 5 and the bridge and all those grandstands and the mountains. You feel like you're in a bowl.
I get the same nostalgia for the M62.
I'm not surprised, really. Let's just have a quick look then at the track limits, which are going to be heavily enforced this weekend as well. The exit of turn 8 has been changed. The exit curb has now been extended and is now a grass and gravel runoff. The same can be said for the exit of the last corner, turn 15, the chicane part of the complex. The sleeping policeman has been extended to run forward to stop the cars running over and getting an advantage to the last corner. And they really are taking track limits seriously here. So my question is, why install the chicane?
They not only taking the track limits seriously, the banana curbs or whatever they're called.
Banana, sausage curbs, whatever they are. Really.
Instead of the sausage curbs here, it's the banana curbs. There they are.
Yep.
In their fantastic, what are they?
White.
Too high for a start.
Oh, we're going to see some curb riding here, a bit like we see at Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, that's turn 4 has just taken its first casualty of the day.
Did it? Now, you've seen the Formula 3. I haven't seen the practice because I was in the studio. So what happened in that one?
He just took the corner too fast, lost it, went in the gravel, and just touched the barriers. But it was at this part of the session where it was near the end of the session, so it never restarted.
Right.
But turn 4 is one to look out for this weekend.
Surprising turn 4, actually, because it comes after the long, sweeping uphill part of the track. And yeah,
it's not that hot, Max.
No, Max has got a ice cube. The dry ice blower.
Dry ice blower. Ice cube.
I got there eventually. Hamilton leads the title by 30 points to Max Verstappen after his win at Silverstone.
We racers 1 or 3.
Which one was that? Oh, I can see on the Racing Point.
Yeah, Perez is back this weekend.
Yep, 2 negative COVID tests, which means he was allowed to fly and then enter the paddock.
Yeah, and interesting, Natalie suggests that it wasn't to see his mother.
Yeah, I think that Natalie suggests that. I've heard the rumours as well. As the green light is on, the practice
There's no doubt that his mother had an accident.
Oh, it did. It was reported.
And he had to rush out there. But I think they used it for more than one purpose.
Yeah, and he's back now. He's only missed 2 races.
Martin was just saying on the TV that how much it will cost if they
Yeah.
want Mr. Sebastian Vettel in that car, because you have to pay up Sergio.
Yeah. And
Um,
he brings sponsorship in as
and
well.
pay up the sponsors, but
Mm.
that to a man of Lawrence Stroll's abilities, he's 60 companies,
Yeah.
billionaire,
Nothing.
right?
It's
It's
pittance.
nothing.
I mean, what was it? How much did you have to spend? £400,000
Hopefully,
fine?
hopefully, if he's losing his seat, I hope Sergio has got another drive somewhere and that he gets a handsome payoff.
I'm
But
hearing.
it will be sad for
Yeah.
Formula One because of the fact that although Sergio isn't the most brilliant driver
Yeah.
and naturally gifted driver, he will always give everybody a run for the money.
Mm.
And on his day, he's capable of shaking things up.
He's a good driver. We've seen it before. 2012, he was insane.
Yeah, but what does being a good driver mean nowadays? Hulkenberg took his chance. He was a good driver, and he came back for them 2 races and was actually better than he was
6
in
points.
the previous 14 months of actually driving.
He did have a good weekend, didn't he?
Yeah, remember
Hulkenberg
he's a Le
last week?
Mans champion, so he's achieved in his life, and he's a great guy. I mean, him and Sergio are good friends, and they, the thing with Hulk is that I think he's a bit too honest.
Yeah.
With things, and I think that might be what put Ferrari off in the end, because Ferrari do like a lot of yes men,
And he's a bit blunt,
and
Hulkenberg.
it was a surprise when they took Vettel, because
Yeah.
Vettel, although he's a brilliant driver, Vettel says his own thing and does his own thing,
Yeah.
which Ferrari don't like.
And that's been evident now because they've let him go. And that was announced pre-season testing that he was let go. And now we're in a position where
One of the reasons for
What does he
that
do?
is the fact that Tifosi are absolute staunch fans over the top.
Yeah.
Right? Which is great for Formula One. Without the Tifosi in Italy, the Italian race would be limp.
Yeah. And it's such a shame that we can't have them at the
We've got some
rigs.
aero rigs on the back of the Ferrari.
That's Charles Leclerc.
They might as well have a caravan.
Well, they're towing it at the moment. To be fair, Ferrari haven't exactly had the greatest start.
I am possibly one of the few people that has towed a caravan on a racetrack.
Le Mans, you did it at Le Mans, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably actually saying that.
Is it the M157, which goes past the Le Mans racetrack? It's actually a part of the racetrack.
Mm.
And so when we was off to Royan with the caravan, when you go down,
we've got a yellow in the second sector for some reason at the moment.
And it's not coming up yet on the screen, but it is on the timing screen.
I'm not sure what that is about.
This is where we miss you, Megan.
Yeah, Megan could have a look.
Megan is absolutely mega at timing screens and strategy and things like that.
Hulkenberg.
We still haven't got a yellow up on things, so it must have gone green again.
Must have gone green. I'm just having a quick look to see if it's anything that I can change. Oh, we've gone green now, look. So there we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, we're fine now. So the yellow comes in. We got a new monitor in the commentary box this time around.
Where?
Well, it's improved.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
But the driver track is improved. So do you remember the issue you said?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Do you remember the issue you said?
Why we got 6?
Well, we've got 3 timing monitors, a laptop,
one so that
TV,
we can see
YouTube,
one so we can see ourselves.
Yeah, so the driver track is
1,
improved.
2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there is only 5.
Megan's usually here with 6.
Yeah, that's the one that's missing.
That's the one that's
Megan,
missing.
isn't it? With her little iPad.
Yeah. Megan will be back for the Belgium Grand Prix in 2 weeks' time. This is one of her allocated races. She takes off. Oh, that brings back memories.
Oh, God, not another memory.
I tell you what, pre-season testing.
Oh, why didn't they lock you in that commentary box forever?
I'll tell you about that in a minute. But that grandstand at the back at the end of the circuit between turns 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, you can see all of it. It's so hot if you even sit there in, what was it?
You and
February.
The other 3 really roughed it, didn't you?
Oh, well, £4 million villa for a week, Barcelona around, Girona, and 4 days at a circuit. Yeah, I was in hell.
Restaurant around the corner.
Restaurant around the corner, yeah. Oh, I do miss it. I really do miss it.
I hope you cleared up after you before you left that villa.
We really did. Yeah.
Yeah, so why don't you do it at home?
Well, £4 million villa. Do you want to do the math? Yeah. So it was. Do you want me to tell the story now, or wait until we run out of things to say about the commentary box?
Whenever you want.
I'll
Really.
tell it later because we've got to get through a couple of things first.
Right, there's the Red Bull
winner
of
now.
Max Verstappen, who won the last race.
He's been on the podium in every race he's actually finished this year.
I know, but they chuck him off.
What? They chuck him off?
Yeah, they chuck him off the podium.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's supposed to be doing other things. Yeah, he's been a
Verstappen.
Verstappen, yeah. I think Verstappen's a lot happier than he's joking around and things like that.
Yeah, we saw that at the last lap, actually.
For a guy that speaks
It's
English absolutely perfectly, in the press conference, he was pretending he didn't understand what was going on. What they were asking him.
He's really he's becoming a driver champion.
And we found some things about Lewis and Valtteri, that Valtteri likes to do the cooking in his motorhome by the side of Lewis's.
And Roscoe's a little nightmare.
Yeah, he had to emphasize to Lewis, when Roscoe comes over to the barbecue, he only gets the stuff that he's allowed to have.
No, so yeah, because
not really. Feed him sausages,
everything like that. Well, Lewis is a vegan and very
doesn't
clearly
do the
Bottas
cooking.
isn't. No.
Doesn't do the cooking. Angela does the cooking.
I'm just having.
And he quickly said, Angela has her own room.
Yeah, Angela has her own room in the side. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. People saying, "Oh, well, social distancing, all this." We're in bubbles.
I reckon, if they're bored at night in that little big caravan they've got,
yeah,
and they arm wrestle, I reckon she'd win.
I reckon she would. I reckon Angie's would win. Just hearing some team radio, which unfortunately we can't hear at the moment. Oh, hang on. Oh, well, we can't hear. That's not going out the world feed. We can only hear it in our ears, by the way.
Lewis and Angie are best friends, aren't they?
Yeah.
And whatever. But if you think about when Lewis is performing best, it's when he's got the people around him who he trusts. Right?
Oh, hello. Sorry to interrupt there. We've got some fiber optic cables being strapped through the back of Alexander Albon's Renault, and that's not good because those cables are the brake-by-wire system and the throttle mapping, and they're having to pull them through the car. So that car's not ready yet. There's an awful lot of work being done on the rear of Alexander Albon.
Maybe it's just a little problem, and that they're just, for the sake of it, just changing the whole lot of that particular wiring system.
I think they have. I think that was the damaged one because they looked. There's no panic. Yeah,
it's fiber. It's
I was getting out. Is he?
More than likely, each wire is coloured, so of a different colour. Inside the fiber, it's clear optics, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you can see right through them. And
he's getting out of the car.
Alex is getting out.
So this is it. He's done for the session because.
Oh God, I tell you, poor Alex. I'm getting sick of this.
Yeah, the amount. Right, oh, hello. Do you want me to say another memory? That brings back memories of that grandstand.
Shut up about memories.
I tell you what, Karun Chanuk may be presenting from the pit lane there, but I did that first. Oh, it's Rachel Brooks actually. It's Rachel Brooks actually.
It says reserved on that seat for.
I can't see at the moment.
Joshua Burt.
Oh, well, it could be. No, but I tell you what, if Rachel is going to say that she's the first reporter in that grandstand, no, I did it last year at pre-season. I can tell you the view from there is absolutely fantastic at the grandstand.
Well, at least one thing this weekend, right? And this is not sexist, right? At least the girls are together this weekend so they can help each other with their makeup.
Yeah, because that was something they actually said.
With the hair.
Yeah. And also, what is weird this weekend...
you wouldn't think so with Rach, would you? Because, every time there's a win...
The dresses.
No, not the dresses.
I tell you what,
her hair.
Do you remember last year, Natalie Pinkham had to put lead weights in at the bottom of her dress? Yeah. And, well, there is a behind-the-scenes guide to this weekend's Sky Sports F1 coverage on Instagram.
Of channel.
No, but there is a behind-the-scenes guide on
Otherwise, we'd
Instagram.
mention Susie Perry and the fact that Susie was in the wind in a very, very short skirt, and she got to the end of the broadcast when they all line up, and they all went, "It's a bit windy here. Aren't you worried about your skirt?" And
then it blew up. Yeah. Right. I do remember Eddie Jordan having to help Susie when the dress blew up.
Well, Eddie has the same problem.
Yes, Eddie does. The long shirt.
with his
India.
shirts.
I'm remembering India
Yeah.
2011 when he wore
Lewis,
that very long.
Lewis
shirt
sat
like
there,
this.
in the
He's not going out either.
right. He got a bit confused in the press conference when they asked Valtteri the question first.
So, yep. That was me needing to cough. So
You really needed to look through the things. Now, interesting there to everybody but me, is the fact that there is a thing about these face masks that the Mercedes wear, like Lewis has got on, because it's got a valve in it, and apparently the valves cut down.
Oh, really?
The effectiveness of that thing. So whereas you think, oh, that's better, he's breathing through a filter.
But it's not.
It's not. It's actually worse.
Oh dear. Well, someone should tell Lewis that. I know Lewis doesn't
Well,
want to use
it's
the
not
medical
Lewis's
ones.
fault, is it? It's the ones that's been given to them.
Yeah. I know
Anyway,
Lewis refuses to use the single-use ones as well. I'll tell you what, there's something up with Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes because he's just got out of the car.
That's because of the you have to throw them away.
Yeah, he's just
and he's an ecologist.
Yes, he doesn't want to do that. He's got out of the car. Hamilton's got out of the back of the car. And I'll tell you what, no one's in a rush to get out this morning. We've had a couple of laps. Everyone bar Hamilton and Bottas have headed out onto the circuit.
Is that Ocon?
That is Ocon, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
But
his engineers are really pleased with Ocon, aren't they?
Yeah, 2 seconds. Everybody but Vettel and Leclerc haven't set any lap times. Vettel's on top, 122.879, but we haven't seen that in the pictures. Nobody's rushing to go out there, and it's because of the track temperature. It's so high. And the blistering of the tyres could be a factor this weekend. But yeah, going back to what you were saying about Esteban Ocon.
Yeah, the French engineers are really, really pleased with what Ocon has done since he came into Renault. And, you know, we always knew that he had the fight. We always knew he had the talent. What we didn't realize is that he also has a racing brain on him. So he's getting stronger, you know. And
is it Alain Prost in his mentorship?
I think it's the fact that Charles is doing so well. The interesting thing about Charles is that Lewis has admitted that he plays his PlayStation at night with Charles and with Ocon.
Well, they're all like, they can easily socially distance that. I know that the drivers do have their equipment here.
Yeah, but I didn't think Lewis was into that.
I
know all the others are.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've ever seen Max walking around the paddock with this little black
suitcase thing, yeah.
Not suitcase. What do you call them? Briefcase.
Briefcases, yeah.
A little black briefcase. That's his PlayStation.
Yeah, his PlayStation's in there. It really annoys me as well because I want to know what he's got.
I don't see the point in PlayStations. Oh, look at all the people.
I'll tell you what, though. I want to know what Verstappen's got because he's got a screen and a
keep your opinions to yourself.
I'll tell you what, though. I'm looking around the commentary box just quickly. For the first time in a broadcast...
Sony do the PlayStation.
Sony do the PlayStation, you're right. It's Microsoft do the Xbox and Nintendo do the Switch.
As if I thought you didn't know.
Well, you've got loads of Sony equipment, but I'm having a look.
Sony.
I'm having a look. There's no Sony equipment in this commentary box at the moment, and I think that must be the first time we haven't had any Sony equipment.
Well, you're heavily into things like Dell and Apple, aren't you? So.
We've got 2 monitors and Apple, yeah. Just at the moment, they're on an ad break.
3 when Megan's here.
3 when Megan's here, yeah. Three Apple devices when Megan's here. I think Megan's now watching. Good morning, Megan. She's working at the moment on her revision, and she goes back in less than a month? Sorry if you're listening,
3
Megan.
weeks.
3 weeks. Sorry, Megan, if I just depressed you a little bit more. But then again, you could be having more fun if you come into the commentary box for this one. But this is one you're already scheduled to miss.
I thought we weren't allowed to do funny things. So how would she have fun?
We're allowed now.
I'm allowed, am I?
We're not live. We're not. We are live, but we're not live from Silverstone.
Don't say this, Dad. Don't do that, Dad. Don't do that.
Well, there's only limited things we can do. We can have a little bit of fun. It's a watch along.
If I wanted to be nagged to stay in with your brother, I mean your mother.
Both. You're lucky. You've got the back of the commentary box door.
Hiya, Davey.
Yeah. No, sorry, we can't watch the screen. Show the screen that we're watching. This is a watch-along commentary because, of course,
It's my darling wife's birthday on Monday.
that's a very off-topic comment.
I was because we said about Aaron David inside.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, so sorry, we can't show the screen, unfortunately, because this is a
And she
watch.
looks
Hang on 2
great.
seconds. This is a watch-along commentary of the first session. We do it every weekend for FP1.
Yeah, any other people out there doing a watch along commentary, it's because they've stolen our idea. Sky and that other bunch of lads who have got FIA approval.
Yeah, and I do know that they've nicked our idea. Can't say
Well,
who.
it doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't matter because we're not live for qualifying.
Yeah, because we do this for
Just for
a type of
yeah.
person that likes to listen to stupid people talking about stupid things, right? Based on the BTCC and
Yeah.
commentary, but especially the MotoGP lads.
Yeah, this is just a nice little ramble of while we talk about the session, talk about the weekend. It's just easier than recording a podcast and editing it and sending it out. If we do it live in some form, it's just easier because we changed the podcast format.
Oh, if we're editing this,
No, we're not. It's live. Everything we say we can't. But we changed the.
get him every time.
Well, do you remember last year we did the podcast?
No.
And then after the race, we would talk about it for ages, and it
No.
just took up too much time. So we do FP1 live. It's just easier. HY on YouTube chat. Who do you think are the top 3 this weekend? I think it's going to be the 2 Mercedes and Max Verstappen. I think that's the way to go. It's this be the top 3 the majority of the season. I think Leclerc
I think
stands
we'll
a
be
good
able
chance.
to after practice 3, we'll have a better idea. But looking at the stats, you got people like the Pink Mercs are going to be strong this weekend. I think Renault will be strong this weekend, and so they'll be challenging the top 3.
Renault have been surprisingly good in the past few races as well. They have really been getting to grips with their car a lot more
which
than
is
they were last
worrying
year.
Cyril.
Why is it worrying Cyril?
Because he's got a bet, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, he has, isn't he? What is it, if Ricardo gets any points, or is it a podium?
Podium, I think.
If Ricardo gets a podium,
he has to get a
tattoo.
Cyril's like me; he doesn't believe in tattoos. Well, like Josh as well. Josh hasn't got any, not that I know of.
Where?
He might have this way up, somewhere. I don't know.
Very funny. No.
I'm
not a fan of tattoos. I know people are. But
I was thinking above on your back, just above your
very
bum.
funny. Things you say that we can't change back. We've just got more cars coming out on the track at the moment.
People have a dirty mind. Yeah. So getting back to to answering the question, right? I do feel
come back, Megan. All is forgiven.
I do feel that Sergio Checo Perez will be out there trying to make up for his 2 missing races.
He's going to push a hell of a lot, isn't he?
Yeah, and I feel that Norris is still brilliant. I feel Ricardo's doing well, but I don't feel you'll see it in this practice session because I think it's too cold for any of them to.
Which is surprising to say in August in Spain, but yeah, you're right.
What is the track temperature at the moment?
Track temperature is at 38 degrees. Sorry, track temperature is at 37 degrees now. Air temperature is at 28.
There's a lot of places on this track where, like you just saw with that particular Red Bull.
Yeah, turn 1.
Is that the sun shines across the track, right? Instead of like at Silverstone, where because of the layout of and the positioning of the track, at Silverstone by midday it's belting down. Here, it's still belting down, but it always seems to be behind the track.
Yeah,
producing a shadow across the track.
I can attest to that as well. And you do realize that in the morning, the pit straight is completely cold because the grandstand's so high. As it gets to about midday,
and that's the area, that pit straight where a lot of the DRS overtakes are taking place. The temperature of the surface is always a centigrade or a couple of Fahrenheit different to some of the outlaying corners, which helps the grip.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting as well. As
it
you
helps
said,
the grip on them corners. But you do have this situation where.
Look, here we go.
So we're now getting into the fact that how do you solve that? Well, you have different modes, right? Different engine modes. and obviously your aero can't be changed that much. You can adjust your
Mm.
wings and things like that, but it's these these modes now. All the drivers were told yesterday, and some of them didn't find out until actually in the press
Yeah.
conference.
Oh, 2
that-
seconds. 2 seconds. I know you can't hear this on the radio. I know you can't hear that on the world feed, but
Yeah,
we
because
can
that
hear.
could smudge his tattoo.
Yeah. Well, hang on a second, 2 seconds. I know you couldn't hear that on the YouTube world feed, but we were hearing team radio from Nicholas Latifi in our ears in saying that there is something warm under his seats that is roasting his buns.
Yeah, Lewis had that at McLaren.
He
And,
did, and
yeah.
I think Hulkenberg had it.
Yeah.
Not at 70th, but at the British.
Yeah,
Grand Prix, yeah.
it'll be the battery, which is quite close to the underneath of the seat,
Yeah.
giving off a lot of heat.
So that's going to be fixed.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, modes.
The modes of I had to fix the track
So-
temperature differences.
So
Quali
Joshua,
modes
quali modes
Yeah.
and race modes,
and race modes are changing. Yeah, that's going to be something.
right? The FIA and Liberty.
I'm fed up of Mercedes dominance, basically.
So what do? They get rid of they reduce the number of engine modes you're allowed in qualifying, and some of them were race ones as well.
It's not going to make a difference.
Do you know all of them have race modes? All you do, if you're a midfield outfit,
Yeah.
it's going to affect you more than it is the top.
Yeah.
Because the top are there because their aero is better, their engines are better.
Yeah, and it's not really going to change that much. Lewis isn't worried. Mercedes aren't worried. But I'm
Some of the midfield ones
are worried.
are worried, and
Ferrari are worried.
definitely the bottom two just don't think they should turn up.
No, Williams and Haas are like, oh, well, what do we do now then?
What do we do now? Because I mean, and what about the fans? Like last week, the top two went in. And Lewis was left out there. Well, of the top three, the top two of the top three went in.
Yeah.
And so Bono turned around and said, "Is Bono in it?"
Yeah, Bono.
Only because he doesn't look like anybody from YouTube, guys.
I
More
know.
like YouTube than YouTube.
He's not Bono.
It's not Bono.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I'm sorry, but what is going to happen now is that
That's Simon Rennie, the race engineer for Alexander Albon, on the screen at the moment.
yeah, he didn't have I think they're still bonding them too.
I think Albon's actually out on the track right now.
I don't think he trusted him last week.
No, I don't think he did.
Yeah.
But just quickly to
We
sidetrack
haven't
on.
finished on what we was talking.
Yeah, go on. You do that, and then I'll go back to Albon.
Well, you know me. I've now forgotten what I was talking.
It was about the race, the modes, and.
Oh yeah.
Go on,
The
back to back.
modes. Right. They should have a K.
Yeah. Oh dear. Bad puns and bad jokes. That's all free practice one is anymore for me.
Oh well, it doesn't matter.
I know some people wanted to tell some jokes. on the
Definitely
chat,
the Williams and that they use the K mode.
Talking of K Mag,
K-Mag.
he is at the moment 12th fastest, just gone across the line. We have all the cars out on the track, and it's lit up the.
I thought it was
tracker.
quite good yesterday that Kevin Magnussen, it was really upset that he retired because he couldn't get at anyone.
Who was that?
He wanted to really be aggressive on the track and he couldn't because his car wasn't working properly.
We'll just run through quickly the running order at the moment.
Tell some jokes.
Well, you've already been. That's all you do is tell jokes in the commentary.
Do I?
Well,
I didn't think so.
Bad puns. Sergio Perez, 15th at the moment, just coming into the last two corners. I think he's going to improve his lap time. We'll just talk to the end of this lap, then we'll go through the running order after 25 minutes of running. Perez does move up to 5th, a 1:19.921. So it's Bottas on top, a 1:18.573 from Verstappen, Sainz, Ricciardo, Perez, the top 5. Then it's Raikkonen, Grosjean, Stroll, Latifi, and Antonio Giovinazzi completing the top 10.
Have you noticed that the Racing Point's got his handbags out?
Racing Point's got the handbags out, is it?
Yeah, those little infrared cameras on the.
Oh yeah, checking the tires, aren't they, for delaminations? That was, and just checking the tyre wear as well. Alexander Albon, the car feels quite sharp on initial turning, and then it understeers quite a lot mid-corner. And Simon René, okay, understood.
Check the bolts on the suspension. Then.
Yeah.
Sounds like one of them's loose.
It was a bit worrying,
Hey,
isn't
you
it?
say that, but what about last week?
Oh, suspension failure.
Yeah, the suspension failure last week.
Ricciardo's just gone second, but just to go down 11 to 20, we've got Norris, Vettel, Leclerc, Albon, Magnussen.
Danny Rick thinks that having his teammate helps him because he's more of a grown-up.
Let me get 2 seconds. Roy Nissany in his first free practice session is in 16th, and Kvyat, Ocon, Gasly, and Hamilton have got no time. But yeah, Roy Nissany sitting in for this session for George Russell at the moment. And he is running in 17th as Gasly goes 12th.
So that's Nissany from
F2. Roy Nissany from F2, yeah.
Who is the son of?
Oh, I knew this one. The other Nissany.
The other Nissany.
Let's just go with that one.
And if you're in an M&S at the moment, you can't get any Nissanis.
Oh, very funny.
Any of the Nissanis.
But yeah.
Anybody not listening in this country, the place where M&S are big.
Marks and Spencer.
Marks and Spencers are big food things where everything costs 5 times as much as
food, clothing, everything.
Their factory, unfortunately, 300 people who make their sandwiches have tested for COVID, and it's another one of these meat factory things, But it's worrying because how many thousands of people must have ate their sandwiches? Mind you, they say it can't be passed on.
No, only.
Right, you tell that to Sergio Perez.
Yes, only human contact apparently.
Ooh.
And spittle and that sort of thing. Yeah. Perez has just gone 6th with
Perez
Stroll 7th. Oh, hang on 2 seconds. Replay. Lewis Hamilton trying to get past one of the missing points. They're going side by side. I think that's actually getting past.
You didn't.
That is getting past Perez, and Hamilton boxed. So he decided.
Yeah, well, Lewis has got a problem at the moment because he's got this song in his head.
Oh, it's Stroll. Sorry, it's Stroll.
Yeah, but Lewis has got this problem at the moment. He's not concentrating as much because he gets this song in his. How many other people are like me? When you wake up, and I wake up a couple of times in the night, obviously because of my problems. But I've always got a song singing in my head.
That's all because you just listen to music constantly all day. So probably still in your
but
head.
So does Lewis.
Lewis does always listen to music, yeah.
His favourite record at the moment is?
I don't know.
3 Wheels on My Wagon.
It probably is.
Or because it's a German-made car.
Yeah.
No, actually it's not. It's made in Britain. But
British car, German manufacturer.
It's a wagon.
I'll tell you what, though. Lewis Hamilton leading the title by 30.
Double V, wagon.
As Megan
Volkswagen.
As Megan would say, if she was here, Hamilton would lead the title even if Bottas wins this race.
She would say, "You look like me, Dad," and Magnum.
No, she wouldn't, would she?
Yeah, we've been saying it since she was little. It's from Boys from the Black. Any of you can get BritBox.
If you're in Britain, obviously.
Well, no, BritBox is in a number of countries throughout the world. Yeah. We used to have this really nitty-gritty northern drama about people on the dole. Unable to find work, and
I know you're going with this.
Yozza Hughes, he was famous in it, and Mike DeAngelis, who just died, who was what was the name of that train?
That narrows it down. Thomas the Tank Engine.
Thomas the Tank Engine. That's the thing. Ringo Starr and Mike DeAngelis did that. Anyway, they were in this thing called Boys from the Black stuff, and they sat in this nightclub. And Yozza Hughes turns and looks at one of the, I think it's Graham Souness, the footballer, and he goes, "You look like me."
2 seconds, Megan. We got
and Magnum.
2 seconds.
So me and Megan have been saying that because me and Megan are the beautiful ones.
I've just, And
you lot are just a little bit behind.
Yes. Megan, if you're watching this, by the way, we got
2
seconds. We got to 34 minutes before we mentioned football. For those of you doing the football counter, which has become a bingo.
We did the quiz last night, and my daughters, you have to look to see which one of them's talking. There's like 15, 16, 17 years between them. And
18.
18 years.
18.
18.
Yeah.
18. That's another famous song.
No, don't go there.
Why?
Because we still, yeah. Hang on, 2 seconds.
And people
Lando's
saying
17th doesn't improve.
I think Biden's running mate is an inspiration because you know, and people said, "Where's she from?" And like, she was the Attorney General of California, right?
So,
and been in quite a few high-profile courtroom things and things like that. You know, it's good.
Someone, 2 seconds.
Hamilton.
I think this is just Hamilton.
Lewis.
Lewis on the radio.
Getting Bono to sing a song to him.
No, hang on 2 seconds. Hamilton was on the radio saying how he's mainly losing out to Verstappen after a lockup at turn 5 and a bit of the thing in the chicane. Someone wants me to do Crofty's.
Can't you show the screen? No, unfortunately, if you
that was
you'd have to use your own screen.
Yeah. Somebody wants,
because of the fact that it's illegal for us to do so.
Yeah, well, this is the best we can do. And
we've got the screen.
Yeah, we can see, and we'll do our best to talk to you what's happening if anything does.
It's just like it's just like a radio podcast. This
actually, I can tell you what it is. It's Test Match Special. That's exactly what it is.
Yes, it is.
I knew you were going to go there.
Yes, it is. I don't like cricket myself, but you know,
Loz wants me to do Crofty's catchphrase.
No, dear boy. No. Let's look at on the track at the moment. It's
I knew you were going to go here.
Hamilton is yellow in sector 1.
Actually, that's more slipping into Prince Charles.
No.
That is slipping more into Prince Charles than it is.
No, Charles is more. Charles
Henry.
is more like this.
Yeah. 2 seconds. Danny Kvyat's having some work done at the
Henry Beaufort is
Henry
more.
Beaufort,
he's a happier person.
Yeah.
Then Charles has got to be serious most of the time, hasn't he?
Saying
Except
that,
when he was in the Goon Show. I love the Goon Show.
2 seconds. Saying that, there was a documentary a couple of years ago where he just shows how mad he actually is. Prince Charles is crazy as a box of frogs. He goes, "Oh, tea."
You shall tell a joke and things like that, right?
Hamilton second, 1:19.147.
It's one of my favorite sketches on the Goon Show. Was where they had to sail on a piano back to England.
What? Okay.
So they had to saw the legs off the piano.
Right.
So he goes, right, I will saw these legs off this piano. 1, 2, 3, 4. There, all 4 legs sawn off this piano. Hang on a moment. I think there's only 3 legs on a piano. I keep falling over.
Oh dear.
Absolutely brilliant. I was brought up on that sort of thing.
Radio.
Tony Hancock and
Hancock's half hour.
I don't care. It's the principle of the thing. But there are thousands of people who don't. And there are thousands of hang on, we forgot what we're we're supposed to be doing this.
Yeah. Oh, you timed that.
As if I've got comic
timing.
Hang on, timing.
There you go. 56 minutes remain. We are about 34 into the session.
56 minutes of this. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, all of you. Anyway, right. Sainz showed a little bit of regret about moving to Ferrari because I don't think
just a bit.
A bit.
Right? He's not really Mercedes next year engines for McLaren.
Oh, he's
competitive car.
He looks like a guy that has made the biggest mistake of his life.
He's done an Alonso.
Yeah.
And Alonso at the 500 at the moment. But yeah, he has done an Alonso.
Yeah, and if the lad from F3 this morning is worried about taking a corner too fast and losing it, going into the gravel and hitting the wall, then he should realize Alonso is one of the best drivers in the world. And he did it yesterday.
Indy, yeah.
No, not into the gravel, but straight into the wall.
Turn 4 in Indy.
Turn 4 Indy too fast.
And he just
I mean, there are only 4 corners.
Yeah, and it's an oval, but still, Alonso making a mistake, and he did that a couple of years ago, damaged the car, and he was never competitive. He did it last year, to be fair.
To be fair, practice is, as I've always said, where you push things to the limit.
There's 7 practice sessions. I know someone who I was talking to saying how on earth is the practice sessions for Formula One so long? Why do they need so much? I agree. Through 4 hours of practice gets a little bit much.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Imola.
Was that the Williams? Was that the Williams pits we were just watching?
That was Tom Stallard. I think that was at McLaren.
Oh no, they were wearing in orange. They were in blue and white.
Oh, it might be Williams then. It probably is Williams.
Yeah,
Roy
and
Nissany out.
they all have these really short haircuts on the side because Natalie Pinkham's kids do it.
Morning, Nats. Who's probably not watching us.
And then Natalie cries in the corner and going, "Why?" And it was emotion. She was pregnant.
Yeah.
Wasn't she? Was she?
Yes, with
Yeah.
Willow. Kimi Räikkönen
Willow.
at the moment, just going for a move. The racing points are getting very much in the way of everybody this morning at the last two corners. Räikkönen trying to get ahead of Sergio Perez just then. And he would not get out of the way, would he? So that's Stroll holding up Hamilton and Perez holding up Räikkönen. This is annoying as hell, isn't it, today for anybody?
So does anyone remember how Ricardo, whose hair was cut by Natalie's kids when he was asleep?
Obviously.
Do you remember how he got Natalie back?
Pushed her in the pool at Monaco.
He didn't push her. He picked her up and then jumped himself.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
We've
Great.
got.
She can take a joke, and I love that.
We've got no time.
I mean,
at the moment.
I took a joke 21 years ago. I took you away from from the home where you were born.
I was in a hospital, wasn't I? No, I wasn't. Was I? Where was I?
Oh, you was in maternity hospital.
It's knocked down now, though, isn't it, mine? Or has it been turned into a nursery? I can't remember.
It's turned.
I wasn't there. Well, I was there,
into a community clinic, and David had his back teeth out in the same room he was born in.
Oh, yeah, we said that I think last time out in the last commentary. Actually, we did.
It's Sergio talking now and saying the usual things.
He's very lucky. He may have caught
He's
the virus,
saying all
but no
the
symptoms.
corporate things at the moment.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to upset anybody.
I'll tell you what, though, you are worried that if this happens to another driver, how far will it go before they are locked in to the paddocks during the race weekends?
Well, effectively, they were in Hungary, weren't they?
They were in Hungary. They were locked down, and we had no cases.
And effectively, most of them are doing like the.
Just hearing from Max Verstappen on the radio. Verstappen's having some issues. Okay, so the dash on Verstappen is that low, that it's so dim that he can't see to change the strategy moving around as well.
What's that one mean?
Which one?
You are.
Oh, you are. Oh, thank you for that. You are one of the best commentators. Oh, thank you very much. Is that to me or to Dan? Well, either way, we've got a good pairing. I don't know if that's. Hopefully, that's right.
It's got to be me, not you. Because I'm the only one who actually looks up and sees what Christian's doing.
Stroll's moved up into 5th place at the moment on a 1:19.105.
Do you know what? I think that Christian uses that stuff on his arms that helps you tan.
Fake tan?
Fake tan, yeah.
Or cooking oil.
Because it only goes down as far as his watch. After his hands are all white.
I've noticed that. Oops.
I wonder if it's because you have to wear when you're not on the pit wall, you have to wear gloves everywhere.
Yeah, you've got to wear the gloves everywhere if you're not on the pit wall, and masks as well. And there's Verstappen running over the curb at the last corner. That sausage curbs that you were talking about earlier on. Oh, both.
They're not.
On the YouTube chat. Thank you very much.
I did not. They are not sausage curbs. We are
banana curbs.
In Europe, and they are banana curbs, which is weird because of the fact that did bananas come from Europe? I didn't think they did. I thought they came from the West Indies.
We watched a show last night which shows that they come from all over the place.
Oh, yeah. If you watch Mandy.
Which is a BBC Two documentary.
Comedy.
Meant to say comedy.
Right, 15 minutes of time, right? Who played Diane Morgan?
Diane Morgan, yeah.
The character we can't mention on air.
Philomena Kunk. I can do that.
Can you?
Yeah, because I can actually say it quick enough without you messing up. You know as bad as what Crofty did last weekend? Which the word we can't say on air.
He did.
He accidentally got it in. Both the Red Bulls into the pit lane to do some practice pit stops. I think they're going to pull them both back in. Perez in as well. And we're 50 minutes into the session. The tyres that the teams are given by Pirelli to run in the first 40 minutes have now been concluded. So everyone will come into the pits, have about a 5-minute change around, and then we'll head back out again to see the actual running of free practice 1.
Racing Point with all the money. Why can't they employ $2 buy $2 for the underneath of the car? Because they just rushed from one side to the other.
Yeah, I did see. That's a bit unusual. You can just push your mute button, you know. There you go. As well.
Yeah, but my ears get hot.
I'll see.
It's making my ear grow grey, look.
Well, you used to have a lip mic, but now you've got a headset.
Oh, hang on, I've got my list here.
Oh, very funny.
I've got my list of things I've got to mention. It's like a shopping list. This gravy's nice.
That is a shopping list. Very funny.
Anybody who makes strawberries, please ring in. We're not doing this for the shopping, are we?
No. Although if you
Because we're fed up. I mean, I mentioned HP sauce the other day, and we've got 14 cases over there.
we haven't.
I'm
Yeah.
saucy but nice.
Oh, there we go. There's the bad puns for number one.
Right, have we got any more questions?
Not yet. I don't think coming in. Who are your favourite drivers?
Who are my favourite drivers?
I try and remain out of it, but you've got a few.
Riccardo Patrese.
Oh, you're really going after
Nigel Mansell. A certain person, dear boy.
James Hunt.
James, yes.
Okay, favourite drivers.
Fittipaldi, Senna.
You've really
You
gone
mean on
into
this? On this?
all time. Go on, do both.
Who do I always go for?
We've gone Lewis.
Lewis, and Lando.
I was going to say Lando.
Danny Rick.
Ricciardo.
Anyone with a Union Jack, virtually.
Oh dear. I'll tell you what.
I do like Perez.
Yeah.
I do like Albon, of course, because he hasn't got a Union Jack, but he has on one of his two passports.
Yeah. Just quick.
Grosjean, I find Grosjean not he shouldn't be in Formula One anymore.
Yeah,
he's past it. So we've done Hamilton. Bottas, he's a trier. Bottas hasn't quite got what Hamilton and say Charles and that have, but and definitely he struggles to compete with Max.
Yeah,
when Max has got inferior equipment to him, and right. So yeah, I like them. Verstappen, right, is as we've just said.
Yeah,
Max is he's one of my favorites. I think it's Hamilton and Verstappen who are my favorites for driving, not just because they're Brits or they have a Union Jack on their flag.
They're fun to watch.
I liked Charles when he wasn't in Ferrari.
Oh, that's an interesting take. I thought he brought something fresh to it.
When he was in a better car.
Last year, then. I'll tell you what. I was about to say
Sainz. Sainz, I feel if he'd gone to a team with a better car instead of going backwards and going to Ferrari.
You said it, not me.
Well, of course I'm saying it because Ferrari is saying it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll get onto mine in a minute.
If people should know that Formula One wouldn't be as popular throughout the world without Ferrari. Ferrari have been there every year, right? And for years, they were the dominant team.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, Michael's achievements at Ferrari was brilliant. You know, and over the years, they didn't win the first Grand Prix.
No, that was Alfa
Romeo.
The Alfa Romeo 15C.
Yeah.
150F.
Yeah, Ferrari are an important part, but they've used it to their own advantage. The fact that they command so much of the support from around the world.
The dreaded veto.
Yeah, their veto have been.
Hate that.
Their veto was. The only reason we said this last week that the only reason that the car marques are in Formula One, such as Mercedes and Alfa, it's a very expensive sport. It costs you have to be a billionaire nowadays to run one, and that's why Williams are struggling. It's a shame because Claire and her brother are doing their utmost to keep up what their dad built. And it is a real shame because there's nobody trying in that pit harder than them. They work constantly, tirelessly.
And they're having they're in the right direction with good Q2 results. 4 races in a row, George
but
Russell's
they just haven't got the race results that command. You've only got to go back to when Lance Stroll's dad was part owner and Toto was part owner.
Yeah.
When they have the money, they can perform. They really can. So the problem with Williams is definitely the lack of money, right?
Absolutely.
And
That is it. They can't get anything right at the moment.
which is not the same at Alpha,
no Alpha
because
throwing it.
Alpha's problem is that the car was so rubbish that
Yeah.
it's gone backwards.
To even more. And
Be-
Kimi Raikkonen as
because
well.
they just can't seem to nail down what's wrong with it.
Raikkonen
If you
scored
can't
no
get
points.
Kimi Raikkonen, right, who can't absolutely, we used to make up jokes that Kimi was so relaxed that he used to order a McDonald's,
Yeah.
go through a drive-through and order a McDonald's and eat it during the race, right? Because Kimi is so, I know what I'm doing. Don't talk to me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nothing phases him.
And
I think there's rumours he's retiring at the end of the year.
I don't see the point in other than feeding drivers to Red Bull what Toro Rosso bring to the championship. They try really hard to be mediocre, and they try. They don't seem to ever advance. It's as if they're not allowed to.
Started at the back for we'll get on to Ferrari if that's the case. But yeah,
But
if I started at the back for ages.
If I was Williams, I wouldn't be as worried as I would be if I was Ferrari.
Yeah.
Right. And the expectations that Haas and Toro Rosso aren't as bad for the drivers. There's not the. They work really hard,
but
and get nowhere. It's as if
it's one step forward, two steps back all the time.
They're both feeder teams.
Yeah.
Right. Ferrari do a lot of the parts for Haas, right? And
I think Haas are about time.
Toro Rosso are the feeder team for their because they're owned by the same people as Red Bull.
Yep.
And it's as if this is one of the arguments about having too much customer cars. You either believe in customer cars or you don't.
Yeah.
But I am putting the other argument because I believe in customer cars. The thing is that if you have customer cars, right, the team that's supplying you become so reliant on them, you don't want to upset them.
It's a very unusual situation. That we've seen it now because McLaren have Renault engines. McLaren were told by Renault, allegedly, to say, 2 seconds, to back them up in the Racing Point protest. And then Mercedes turned around and said, do you want Mercedes engine next year to McLaren? And then all of a sudden McLaren have backed away, withdrawn their protest. Williams have done the same. The manufacturers have got too much of a hold on them.
Yeah. We've also just been asked a question about will Aston Martin be perfect for Vettel?
That's my driver this year, but all right.
Well, you haven't done your drivers?
No, I haven't done my drivers yet. You've rattled onto teams.
I'm only just trying to answer the question.
I know, but I haven't got to the thing yet. So 2 seconds.
And how are we keeping in quarantine?
One thing at a time.
I have been we're doing fine in quarantine because we're in a little bubble.
Yeah.
But I've been in quarantine for 4 years, so I know how to go out.
Yeah, your medical conditions. And,
yeah.
But
this chair should have wheels on it. I can walk, by the way.
I found quarantine. You stand in the commentary box last night. I stand
up to you when you shout at me and on the commentary. You can't say this. I can say this. I just did.
And we can't take.
So, what are your favourite drivers, Joshua? And I don't mean from the past.
Oh well, I was going to do them all. But all right then.
Go on then. From the past.
From the past. Let's have Fangio. Obviously, he was quite good.
I've got a great story for people who are listening about.
2 seconds. Let me get one thing at a time. Otherwise, I'll just leave the back of the commentary box and let you finish it on there. You've got 40 minutes to do. Let's see how long you last.
Start calling you Susanna Reid in a minute.
Yeah. It feels like I'm on Good Morning Britain, to be fair. Okay, so we even sat in the same order. Fangio.
You sat because the light's near you, so they can highlight your face more than mine.
Yeah, that's not a real thing. Fangio, Ascari, Moss. Sterling Moss was a brilliant driver. Sadly, he passed out. Moss. Hang on, 2 seconds. I think I'm with you on Fittipaldi. Look, going for 70s. Well, there's Hunt and Lauda. Their rivalry is quite good.
Who was that French guy? From the early 80s.
Did he? No, that's Italian. Rene Arnoux.
Rene Arnoux. He
was Renault.
I used to love watching him.
Yeah. Gilles Villeneuve, is one of my favourites.
I remember when he was killed. I was only a little boy and I was watching
It was only a couple of weeks ago. That was the anniversary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gilles Villeneuve, who was just an amazing driver. Didn't win that many races, but he was so competitive.
Oh,
It was.
did you just say Jack Villeneuve?
No, I meant I said Gilles Villeneuve. I don't like Jacques Villeneuve as a driver. He was a bit of a.
He should be so lucky.
There you go. That's his song, isn't it? He was in the song.
His former partners.
That's it, yeah. Moving
Sister.
on. Senna Mansell.
Because it was the other Minogue, wasn't it?
Yeah, the other one. Senna Mansell.
He's a good singer himself, you know. He's had quite a few country
He has,
albums.
yeah. Senna Mansell.
I like country.
Prost. Schumacher. That's Michael.
You're just going through the book now, aren't you?
No, I'm just trying to think because.
What about today's lot?
Well, obviously we've got Hamilton. He's an amazing driver, but he's amazing. For me, he's amazing on the track. Off the track, I'm still a bit wary on him.
Why?
It's just some of the things that he does because sometimes seems hypocritical.
Angela keeps him in hand.
Yeah, but I do love Lewis as a driver.
Lewis should use his status to
He's been doing it,
enhance the things that he believes in. And
Yeah.
I firmly believe that Lewis.
I'm with you on that. Yeah.
And Lewis loves his music.
It was it was for me. What got him was how he was in the.
I personally think Lewis should be more like Pharrell Williams in his style of music rather than what he is.
In the early part of of the last decade, so the early 2010s, I was a bit wary of Lewis, and I still am nowadays. But Lewis is. Over lockdown, we've seen a different side to Lewis, and it's a side that I really like. So I'm changed my opinion on him outside of the track.
He used to say that he doesn't get on with any of the drivers, and I used to say around and say that's not true because he's always talking. And I mean, one of the British drivers who has an album, Alex Albon, is really going through it. But Lewis has been going up to him, giving him advice, talking to him, encouraging him. Not to get his head down.
Look at going through then. So I've already said Lewis. I don't like Max Verstappen. I love him as a driver. I keep saying I don't know about things, but I don't like Verstappen. I find Verstappen, he's so young still, and he's got so much to learn.
No, I feel you're forgetting the fact that he's Belgium/Dutch.
Yeah.
Right. Which there's two things about the Belgians and the Dutch that I admire. Right, and that is how laid back they are, right, and how open they are. They don't, if they think something, they say it.
Yeah, Max is a great driver, and
that's a good quality.
Danny Ricciardo, another one. Every time Ricciardo's on, there's going to be something funny. There's going to be something to talk about. So Ricciardo's another one. Charles Leclerc. Now,
Danny Rick, funny.
Yeah, 2 seconds.
You want to see him throw an axe?
2 seconds. Oh, he's rubbish at that. Verstappen is good. 2 seconds.
That's the other way around.
Okay.
Max couldn't.
Max could do it. Danny
couldn't hit the target. Danny did.
Charles Leclerc remains the only driver in recent time where I've been stood in. Well, it was this commentary box, and I had to leave because I was so emotional. Because when he won at Spa. It was his first ever win. His first win for Ferrari. He'd done something that his godfather Jules had never done. He'd lost one of his best mates just the day before with Anton Hubert, and the emotion was so raw.
What?
And I was Leclerc winning at Monza. Charles Leclerc is, I think, one of my favorite, if not the favorite of my drivers on the grid. Going through, I love Sebastian Vettel. He went through a phase, didn't he, Vettel?
Yeah, I mean,
but
Ocon,
he's more relaxed now.
Ocon also was greatly affected. Ocon at school,
Gasly,
in the dorm
Gasly as well
was in the same room as Anton Hubert, and
Gasly as well was one of them.
Gasly was a part. They've not known each other like the British lot have known each other since they were young, and the thing about that lad is that I feel that he has a lot of grief on his shoulder.
Charles
has lost so many people in his life.
His father, his godfather, And
was
one of his
like
best mates,
his godfather, who was like a big uncle to him.
Yeah.
Was
Jules Bianchi.
Jules Bianchi, and
Who, it still terrifies me to this day how similar they look, and they're not actually family. They're not related by blood, but how similar they look is unbelievable. And it does scare me, actually, because I saw a photo of it side by side the other day.
But Jules's family take care of him now that he's lost his dad, and it's a bit like
Jules's dad.
It's a bit like
looks after Leclerc.
It's like Mick Schumacher
and Ralph. Sebastian.
Ralph and Sebastian really look after him, and the one who looks after him the most is actually the PA of Michael.
Oh yeah, I know who you mean.
She has what she says goes.
I want to say Karina, but I think that was his wife.
Karina's his wife.
Yeah, okay. Just seeing a quick replay on the monitor.
Ask DC, because was it DC or was it that Karina was the girlfriend of somebody else? It was like,
I think there is a Karina of David Coulthard, but I'm not sure if that's his wife or not.
No. David's married for years.
You were on about the banana.
His eldest kid.
Yeah.
She's in.
Coulthard.
Yeah, she's into something now, and she's about.
You want about the banana curves at the exit last corner? Romain Grosjean getting all out of shape on one as he came off, and that was a bit.
Because they call them banana curves because they're a bit. Whereas ours always seem to be straight.
With the
there's quite a lot there that curve, and they're so high that they just look like a banana. And it's possible to get your rear wheel on the as you go, your front wheel goes over.
Yeah.
Then your rear wheel hits it, and you have like a spiral effect as you go down it. Which
Bottas, big oversteer moment coming into that chicane, like you were talking about.
Bottas just did.
Yeah, exactly that. Okay, well, as
we said before, and it's like if you're driving your own car, right, and you it's wet, and you come up to a junction or something like that, and your right wheels are on the white lines.
Yeah.
The traction on those white lines is different to the traction of the tarmac, and so you've got a difference in the drive on the right hand side of the car to the left, and so it causes you to have to correct it.
Exactly what he just did.
What we're seeing on the TV at the moment from Valtteri Bottas.
The Graham Hill driving school, wasn't that from?
Oh, Graham Hill was.
I didn't add Graham Hill to that list. Sorry, I'll add Graham Hill back to that list.
Yeah, and Jackie.
And Jackie Stewart.
So Jackie. I mean,
before
Lewis came along, Jackie was our driver from this country who won the most.
Yep, 3 world championships.
But that was Jackie himself says that the other Scottish lad,
Jim Clark,
right,
3-time champion as well.
He would have won a lot more.
Clark would have,
if he hadn't been killed, because of the fact that I used to have a little Matchbox toy of Jim Clark.
I keep saying, bring it into the commentary box.
I can't find it.
I know it's somewhere in the
one
drawer.
of the. No, it's not in a drawer.
It's it's in the cabinet. Yeah.
We have cabinets full of cars and things like that.
Can you tell what car people? As Leclerc just rockets up to 3rd place, 1:17.970. So he's gone good. But yeah, I keep saying, we've got a double yellow in sectors 2 and 3.
2 and 3, and it's
Roy Nissany, who has
poor
spun.
Lad in the Williams.
Yeah, Roy Nissany has spun.
That doesn't look. Yeah, he's got it going.
He's on the off track of turn 10.
I was going to say it doesn't look like serious, and now the yellow flag should be coming in, but they're not. Why?
Now we have he was still off the track. He's on the runoff.
Yeah, but that's what he's there for. He's there to push himself to the limit.
I don't think he actually spun there because I think
we haven't seen the replay yet, have we?
Yeah, I think he locked up and went straight on because although those tires look a bit destroyed.
I mean, even
I can see the graining again.
You're looking at that car now, right? And don't you feel it's? I'm sorry, Claire, but it's a bit last year.
It does look a bit, doesn't it? Okay, so we've got the onboard looking at the camera of Roy Nissany. And he's locked up.
He's lost his rear.
Locked the rears, spun around 90 degrees, and
did well at his recovery there. He did everything right.
That's just a simple mistake.
That's just that. If he wasn't making them mistakes, then he wouldn't be pushing hard enough to get noticed.
Yeah.
Right. You know, he's doing that. There's no wrong there.
It's only a few tenths off of Latifi's time. Actually,
he might have just ruined a good set.
He's 3/10 off of Nicholas Latifi's time. That's not bad at all. In the first ever session with Ronnie Tiny.
Thankfully for Latifi, his dad is also a billionaire.
Yep. What were we talking about before?
I mean, honestly, I don't think
Yeah.
without Latifi's dad's money, you know, and a
Yeah.
few other sponsors that have come on board, like the main sponsor, I don't think Williams would actually be on the grid this year because I think it was that serious. I mean, I know Claire and her brother are working tirelessly to bring some. Now, when they first
financial cash,
they wanted to put it up for sale completely. Now, they want people to invest.
Yep.
Right. Instead, so hopefully the name of Williams will remain.
Okay, so we've got 2 more questions. Well, we'll start with the quarantine. I think we answered that, didn't we? The quarantine question. How are you doing in quarantine?
What are your thoughts on Vettel's career?
And will Aston Martin be perfect for Vettel? Same person asking both questions. Hello, Loz.
Yeah, I know. We said about Aston Martin.
I think it would be a good decision.
Aston Martin are taking over the name. Is going to be the new name of Racing Point, right? Because Lawrence Stroll, among his 60 companies, is Aston Martin.
Yeah, so it's just another manufacturer.
But at the moment, they can't do it this year because of the fact that the Aston Martin have a sponsorship with the cars we're watching on track now, Red Bull.
So it's all sort of a do or die move, isn't it?
Yeah. As for Vettel's career, right? Vettel's not a close family member, but there is a link
between him and
Schumacher. It's the Schumachers, and so that meant that Michael was looking after him like he looked after Ralph.
Yep.
From a very early age. I've spoken about the famous bit of film where Michael is laying into both of them in the back of the transit van, and Seb must be only about 10 years old. I think Seb says he is 10 years old in that clip, right?
Michael's
about and from an early age, this discipline of make mistakes and learn from it and don't do it again
has been installed
in him. And when he got the chance, everything came right. I really admire Christian, right? He knows what it's like to nearly get into this sport, and he knows what it's all about in this sport.
Yeah.
You've got Adrian Newey, who is the best designer that we've had since Gordon Murray. And the combination of Adrian's team, which was strong, not only Adrian, but his team was strong. And the amount of money Red Bull could put into it. He was so at Toro Rosso. His first ride was guesting for someone else, wasn't it?
Vettel, 2007, United States Grand Prix after Robert Kubica had that massive accident in Canada.
So was it Williams that he guested for?
Sauber, BMW Sauber.
BMW Sauber. Yeah. Right. So that was his first thing. And then obviously he went to Toro Rosso because Dr. Marco put him there. Right. That's another one. Dr. Marco was a really good racer himself. Right. And he
lost an eye.
He lost an eye. Yeah. And the thing is that he used to get up to, I mean, Dr. Marco says about the fact that most race weekends, you had the situation where someone would get either seriously hurt or killed.
Yeah.
And yet you still went out there because the buzz that you had. And Dr. Marco, he can instantly tell from just watching a driver. He can tell his strengths and his weaknesses. And although DC started the academy there, right, and helped, DC still involved in some
respects, yeah,
right, but Sebastian had everything going for him before he got to Formula One. Right, but he had to do it himself.
Yeah,
and he did it himself. And when he got to Formula One, he had the best situation. He had these Red Bull were given a lot of money to become a top team, and they were right. And
Albon's having a bit of issue on the track.
Sebastian feeds on success.
Yeah.
Right, and gets better and better and better. And that's why he's struggling at the moment. Because if he can't figure out himself what is wrong, right, then it starts playing on his mind. And once you start losing your concentration like that, right? I mean, at the moment, I really feel for him. Ferrari it's gone so wrong for him at Ferrari, and
Thought he was
if
going
you're
to emulate Michael.
at the start of last week's race, right, when he
Oh,
had his
that
little
was
spin
yeah.
because the setup was wrong according to him, right? I don't know whether it was. It certainly
It
shouldn't.
seemed like a
It's
mistake under braking for him.
yeah, but he showed his abilities in correcting it. He didn't
Yeah.
just lose it completely; he regained it, right?
Yeah.
But
And
it
it
was
was
the
a bit that's
cutting
the issue,
remark that he made to his
Yeah.
his team over the radio, because that
What
just
was it?
wasn't
It's your fault.
your fault. You know what you've
Yeah,
done. We
yeah.
talked about this in the meeting this morning, and
That's
you know
not
what I'm doing.
yeah.
This isn't good enough type thing.
That's
And
not really Vettel and Ferrari golden marriage, is it?
that shows everything anyone would like to know about what is going on at Ferrari at the moment with Vettel, right?
Done, really.
There is just no trust.
No.
He always admires the way how hard they all work, but they clearly don't know what's wrong with that car, because if so, they have, or do they have the money to fix it?
That's the question, because they paid a hefty fine to the FIA.
Also, you've got the situation where nobody's buying these top market
Yeah.
cars, like the McLaren or like the Ferrari,
And Ferrari is
and
state
McLaren
owned.
and Ferrari always use the profits
Yeah.
to go racing with.
And Ferrari are state owned with Fiat as the major company, and
But
a lot of cash.
Fiat got into trouble about 4 years ago, and
Yeah.
had to go in partnership with the American company Chrysler and become Chrysler Fiat. And I think it's a money problem, because surely
No sponsorship either. No title sponsor.
the people that are absolutely geniuses that have produced these Ferraris over the years, right? You don't lose that overnight. You might lose one or two members of staff, but the team that has been built up there is capable of a top flight team.
Yeah. Okay.
And if they can't figure out what's wrong with that car, or have they figured it out
And they can't
can't afford to correct it?
Okay, I'm going to say something here. This is 1970s again. Do you remember? So let's put Sebastian Vettel in the place of Clay Regazzoni. And let's put Niki Lauda with Charles Leclerc. Leclerc is Lauda, comes into the team. The car's all right for one season, then it's a mess. And Leclerc is the one building it back up. And
they
Vettel's
have the fine, because
of the car, of that
they
problem,
were going exactly to the recommendations, and they wouldn't have got a fine. Nobody has said that they broke the rules.
Yeah.
So why
everybody knows they broke the rules. Yeah.
If nobody said they broke the rules, why did they get the fine?
It's a bit like, we know
Racing
you
Point.
did it. Yeah. It's a racing point. They've opened a can of worms. Ferrari are very brave protesting this decision, considering the
All
fact
of them
that
are.
everybody wants to know what Ferrari were up to last year with their engine.
I mean, I heard something the other day. Someone was saying that it's like we have in the past, that the problem with the pink Mercedes is that it is a exact copy, and no one can do that exactly by guessing from things. They must have had the blueprints to get the absolute dimensions. What a load of rubbish.
Yeah, you can do that in some form.
Most schools now have a 3D printer.
Yeah.
And that is the basic technology that you need. You just take pictures from all angles, put the dimensions that you know in, which is the tires.
Yep.
Right? You know everything about the tires because they're the same tires that you use.
And the front wing, because that's a standardized part, and the rear
any
wing.
of the standardized parts you can do. So then you can work out the dimension. A computer can instantly.
Yeah.
Their computers are a lot better than 3D printers. A computer can instantly work out, and there's not many things on a car that isn't shown during the year.
No, everything is.
Even the floor, right? When they take the floor out, right, and it passes a jack, you know the dimensions of that jack. And so if you put the dimensions of that jack in, you can get the dimensions of the floor.
Belgium last year, Hamilton had the crash.
Nice water.
Yeah. Hamilton had to crash into the wall, and the car was lifted up. That's where they got the photographs from.
Yep.
onto the back of the truck, and a few other times.
Oh yeah, they were rushing with the sheets to get things.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
Practice 3. Yeah. So it's a strange situation, and Racing Point really are. Racing Point are protesting the FIA's decision to fine them, and Renault.
And they will win.
Yeah, they're going to win. But it's open to kind of works.
because the FIA, in their judgment, said
there was a loophole,
that they hadn't done anything over the limit. Right?
They only fined them because it was sporting.
It was a sporting regulation that they broke.
And
if they didn't break the other regulations, then they've got such a... I mean, Lawrence Stroll, as we said last week, sorry. Lawrence Stroll is a billionaire who owns 60 companies, right? Some of them really, really expensive companies. He's got a hell of a lot of money. And in those companies, he must have his own lawyers that are far better than a lot of people have. And so they will walk into the FIA with everything they need, every scenario, to win that case.
It seems to be that, and hopefully...
the reason I think they will win is because I think the case the others have against them is based on another situation, the customer car situation, right? Customer built cars. And so it's very... The attack on them is very weak from the opposition.
Yeah.
Right? It's done just to handbags, on a dance floor or pushing in the playground. It's
opened up a can of worms.
It's just done to disrupt.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sorry, Formula One didn't need this.
Not now. Not
they
this
have
year.
It all. When haven't they had it? It's not often. You don't get to go one season without somebody complaining about this, somebody complaining about that, when they're doing it themselves anyway.
Okay, so this year...
So this one.
Yeah. No, that one. That one there. So let's get this straight. This year it's been Racing Point. You're you.
Am I?
Yeah. So this year it was Das and Racing Point's car. Last year it was Ferrari. Year before, so 28. What was 2018? 2018's big. I don't think there was one. I can't think. Halo. I'll add Halo. Halo was 18, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we've got two different types of Halo in motorsport.
Oh, well. Okay, so surprisingly, a bird. I did wonder what I think that was. I did wonder what all that was. Valtteri Bottas, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like the bird has.
Yeah, there was a bird that flew over the top of the car.
I've had that.
And the bird has unfortunately blown up.
I had a pigeon that came out of Wheelsby Woods once and flew right across my car. And because we, as taxis, we have
the big antenna.
The big antenna. And it flew straight into the antenna. And I thought, oh no, that one's gone.
Yeah.
And so I pulled in and I looked in my rear mirror and it just dusted itself off and flew away.
Again, yeah. But unfortunately, it does look like Valtteri Bottas. Unfortunately, the bird that hit his car disintegrated. I did wonder what all that. I thought it was pollen.
Yeah.
From somewhere, but unfortunately, it was bird. So that's very unfortunate. But we had that before in MotoGP.
Phillip Island, wasn't it?
Phillip Island. Yeah, Ian Oney.
Where possibly the same bird that made Sebastian break and Lewis not break.
Yeah.
In the Grand Prix, or was that a different circuit? Was that Canada?
That was Canada, Montreal. Yeah. Well, birds do fly for the winter.
We used to have when we used to race in Turkey. Formula One had a big problem with the wild dogs that were around the track, and that was awful.
Sambird.
Yeah.
No.
Don't
Bruno
talk
Senna.
about it. People might be eating somewhere.
Bruno Senna, unfortunately.
Yeah. Let's put it this way. It was horrible. And we used to have Mad Monks on the track.
Yeah. Oh, I can remember. Let's see. We had three.
That was British Grand Prix.
Yeah, British Grand Prix. The priest who said the end is coming. Little did he know that
the
when
the guy who in Singapore who
got out the track to walk home.
yeah,
That was
he
brilliant.
was trying to get home, so
Yeah.
how did he even get into the track?
God knows. They got
taking
busted for that one.
a shortcut through a Grand Prix.
Yeah, safety car was deployed for that one. Germany 2000, the disgruntled Mercedes employee walking down with slogans in German on the back of his Macintosh. I'm trying to think.
Macintosh.
There you go, I was going there. I don't want to say Mac. What else have we had? We've had.
We should say Mac because we could do with a new MacBook.
Yeah.
Right. So Apple.
The fan.
Right. Apple Mac.
Yeah.
Anybody's listening from Apple, right? We could do with a new Apple Mac Pro.
Yeah.
Because we've got one and it's getting old.
What was it? The fan on the track in China who ran across the pit straight to jump in the pit lane.
If I'm just looking at my list,
because it was free practice, he thought he could have a go himself. Go on.
Right, we need some chicken nuggets.
Is this your dinner? Oh
no, that's for Megan when she gets back. And Bisto, don't they make nice gravy?
Yeah,
we could do with a few boxes of that, and Rockies. Megan, Joshua,
I love
Rockies and Walkers, or what's the other name of the crisps?
Seabrook. Oh, yeah. Actually, Albon,
Seabrook cheese and onion.
2 seconds.
Seabrook.
Sorry, 2 seconds. Honestly, balance is pretty good. We're quite slow on the straights, but the balance feels nice. Okay, understood. So Albon looks okay. The car looks good.
Good, and they worked hard on to get the problem sorted out. And let's hope they do. And here comes, I think it's Lando.
It's Carlos
Sainz.
Yeah, Sainz in the back. Okay, just give you the top.
That was a pretty good take of that corner by.
Yeah.
He kept a lot of speed. He's got aero paint on the back of that car.
Just to run you through the top 5. Valtteri Bottas on top, 1:16.785. Lewis Hamilton is second fastest, to 1:16.824. Max Verstappen is third, at 1:17.724. Charles Leclerc fourth, at 1:17.970. And Sebastian Vettel rounds out fifth, at 1:17.981. So there's the top 5 for you, because somebody asked what the top 5 are. And we're happy to oblige, as we've got the timing screens in front of us to give information. Everyone out there out on the track just seems to be doing some long runs at the moment. No one really going for
Thank you to
Loz
for all he's contributed today with his questions.
He's
got to go now, so that's fine. Thank you for listening.
I hope you've enjoyed it. We're back. We only do free practice 1, but there are a lot of programs throughout the weekend, the practice reviews and the race previews as well. And we're live for free practice 1 on every weekend. And we are looking, hopefully, in the future at doing some more watch-alongs of full weekends.
I don't feel
the British Grand Prix.
The next guy or girl, it's
the Ferrari's looking good. Can we really tell what's saying on Friday?
I don't think they are. Personally,
no.
But
this is only FP1. There's a long way to go.
I know there's a lot of Ferrari fans, as I was saying earlier, out there, and you're desperate for them to look good. I think it's the fact that other things are practice 1, other teams are doing other things, and they're just trying to make themselves look good. They're not actually.
For sure, Racing Point and Renault and McLaren are going to be stronger in FP2.
Yeah, and in the race.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only the genius of Charles that has got them points recently.
What was it? Podium at Silverstone. He fell into that look because of Bottas's puncture.
Yeah.
And then he got 4th place the following week in the 70th
anniversary. But we desperately, for the sake of fans like them, we desperately need. It's like us in Britain with our Williams fans. The Williams fans are really strong, and they're sticking by them, and they desperately want to see better. Right, Ferrari should be, and for the reasons we've said, which are our opinion, we feel is why they're not, but they should be one of the top 3 teams, right? And at the moment, it's Mercedes, Red Bull, and Racing Point.
Yeah.
Right,
and McLaren are looking strong,
and Ferrari have got to do everything in their power to make sure that their position in P1 is their position in P2, P3, and the race and qualifying. Right,
yeah.
And I think that's too big a task for them at the moment. I think they're lapping at virtually the same thing. Vettel's new chassis seems to suit him better. But there's still the problems with that car that existed at all the other Grand Prix.
There's no magic bullet to fix anything.
No, but 4th and 5th in P1 will be
Motivationally good.
yeah, and it's a good position for them.
Yeah.
But I do feel it's because other people are doing other things.
And annoyingly, we have to say that the track temperature is going to
They
rocket
should
in
be
the
like
afternoon.
they should be able to do things like Mercedes. It's very rare that Mercedes aren't the top two.
Yeah.
Right? And that's because they are the top team. Right? Red Bull work really, really hard and throw a lot of money to be number 2.
And then
right?
they got lucky last week.
Racing Point are
Yeah.
doing exactly the same. And I think they've caught Ferrari by surprise. Ferrari have had a few problems. The engine, when they were found guilty of that,
Whatever it was.
well, when they was told not to do that anymore,
the oil into the back of the engine,
Yeah.
giving them more horsepower.
or giving them more horsepower,
We all knew.
right? We all knew because it was smoking too much,
Yeah.
right? And so was the Haas, and the Haas have fallen off as
I'm
well.
going to say pre-season testing last year, walking past the Ferrari garage in the pit lane, you always knew when it fired up because you got a big puff of smoke.
Yeah.
And it tasted horrible because you breathe it in, unfortunately, because it lingers.
When you have such a change ordered by the FIA that they did, right? You're on the back foot, and they unfortunately haven't recovered.
No, they haven't. Just quickly, someone asking where Alexander Albon is. Albon is P8 at the moment. We'll give you a full rundown in a couple of moments. But because we've into the last 8 minutes, I'm going to tell my story as Lewis Hamilton's just run over the track at the last 2
Not
corners.
the story of the commentary box.
Yes, I'm going to tell you the story because this is the first time we've been live on here at the Spanish Grand Prix.
I would say the person that did lock the door, right, of the commentary box building, right. How come they couldn't hear you lot?
Don't know. Very bizarre. Okay, so what happened was last year, me and 2 friends of mine flew out to Barcelona to cover the pre-season testing. For that time, we were on the Facebook channel, not the YouTube. So it was the first day, and it was just we were in the grandstand on the main grandstand, and we just finished our first show of the morning. So we were near the commentary box.
And so they thought their press passes, which said access to the pit lane and things like that, they read it as
no. Here's the thing. It was access all areas.
It was access all areas.
Hang on, you weren't there. So we went into the lift because you couldn't go up to the commentary box via stairs. So we went in the lift because we had all the equipment with us, and we took up to the top of the commentary box, and they all were the commentary boxes. So I had a quick look through, and the window is fantastic. The commentary box is actually quite small, no bigger than our table here in the commentary box now. And it was nice watching it. So we get back in the lift to go back down, and all of a sudden the lift needs a passcode to go down. Yeah, you didn't need one to go up.
And
so we are trapped in the commentary boxes.
And they couldn't get out the door.
No, it was padlocked. The door was padlocked.
The door was padlocked. And so they rang
hang
us.
on. No, hang on a minute. I didn't ring you.
Well, we got a phone call about it.
Yeah, after the fact. What happened was we managed to get down to the last set of stairs before the gates were padlocked, but we had to climb over the banister of the grandstand and drop quite a significant, because there was a gap where you drop right down the whole grandstand, 5 floors down to the floor. So we had to Lara Croft it down onto the next level with tripods, camera equipment, microphones, and a full bag of equipment for the day. And there's me, the smallest one of the group.
You can tell it was a British crew, can't you?
Yeah, the smallest one of the group having to go 2 hands holding onto the railing with legs dangling to a 5-foot drop.
Crofty couldn't do that.
And just jump down. So
but he has got himself locked in before.
Yeah. So there's my commentary box story for the Spanish Grand for the pre-season testing in Spain. And I'll tell you something as well. It happened to Murray Walker and Martin Brundle at Silverstone. In 1997, they finished the Grand Prix commentary. They decided to walk the track. And when they left, they realized that the gates were locked. They had to go and find some ladders that had been left to climb out the back of the circuit over the fence. So it's happened to Martin and Murray. So there's my commentary box story.
So it's happened to the best of them. It's lovely to hear Murray on the TV last week.
And then I rang them.
He's not fit enough to attend the tracks anymore.
No, sad.
But he's all there in his mind, he says. and he's just a legend, isn't he? You know,
Fantastic, Murray. I was hoping, I'm hoping still that we can try and get Murray on one of these. That could be a possibility. I would
so
love.
if you go
yeah.
to preseason testing at Barcelona,
Don't
please
go to the
take-
commentary boxes.
Please take a rope ladder.
You need it. I'll tell you what, the grandstand at the back is quite large as well. It's bigger than it looks on the TV monitor. And it is scary. I'll tell you quickly the story about the go-kart.
For the Ferrari fan, here's the practice start from the Ferrari, is
I think
it?
this is Charles Leclerc heading
It
on.
looks like Charles.
I think it's Vettel.
Oh, no,
it's
Vettel?
It's Vettel.
Why don't we? I've always wondered, you know, like in IndyCar a few years ago, we had numbers lit up.
Yeah. I think they're demoing.
Which showed either their number
or track position,
track position.
I think they are demoing something 2021 with that, but I've seen
all about weight.
Wheels.
In Formula One, everything's about weight. Everything is minimized so that it's the least amount of weight, and anything that could possibly damage the aero, they don't want, and that's why they don't want that. But it's good for the people watching.
I'll tell you two more stories quickly.
Because
go on.
When you're in the pit stop,
in
IndyCar, when they used to have those things, the time of the pit stop came up on the display.
Yeah, I think Formula One are looking for
much more information. I mean, in this technology age, there's got to be some way of doing this without affecting the aero.
Because it is quite annoying.
You can have flat screen.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll see something. Okay,
because the IndyCar one was pretty.
It was basic, yeah.
Looked like a double the size of a Mac.
It was quite bulky, and I think they've refined it a little bit now. Okay, two more stories.
He's having
quickly.
a go at me again. He's saying about being bulky.
No. Two more stories just quickly. The first comes from meeting Ted Kravitz on the last day of preseason testing and having a chat with him, and he's a lovely man. Got a photograph
His wife
as
says
well.
That as well.
And we talked about McLaren in the preseason test. So Ted was lovely to meet last year. And the second story comes from the go-kart.
He's a good listener because he's got a wife and 2 or 3 daughters.
Yeah. 2 seconds. The second story comes from the go-kart track that's located was just alongside the grandstand.
Big family man.
Yes.
I am as well.
And last day of preseason testing. We've only got 2 minutes. So
why else wouldn't I do this with you?
Good point. We only got 2 minutes. So I've really got to get through this story quickly. Okay, so the last day of preseason testing, we all decided to go on the go-kart track to have a little bit of relax and a little bit of fun. So we all decided to have a race on the go-kart track. So we all hold it up a little bit more. And it's 3 abreast going into turn 1. And what do you know? There's an accident. But it's not me because the 2 I was with take each other off and go spinning. So it comes to the last minute of the 8-minute race. I'm in the lead and I've got one of my friends behind me, and he's catching me. We come to the last 2 corners. I flick the go-kart in left and right and get through. And all of a sudden, I see the checkered flag. I look behind me and think, where is he? And he spun at the second to last corner, as apparently he's gone for a do-or-die move and locked the rears and spun round. I missed that, but that was a good story. As well.
You could have commentated it on as it happened.
I was shouting in my helmet at the time.
And then they went back to their luxury villa.
Oh, I'll tell you what. We had.
It did look absolutely.
It was lovely, yeah.
Lovely.
We only had 2 days to look around Barcelona. So we went to Girona on the first day, and then we went to Barcelona on the last day, and then we had to fly back because all the other times we were on the track.
Barcelona.
I don't know. Actually, you should really call it Catalonia because the Catalans. Yeah, we should really call it Catalonia because that's been a civil dispute as well. Yeah, that's been a civil.
Mr. 40.
That's been a civil dispute as well. The Barcelona and Catalan want independence as well. You saw that there.
You say pig in the sky.
Down on Les Ramblas as well.
That's Ramblas.
You can really see that there is a struggle for independence there, and there's a lot of people supporting for it. So yeah, it is.
Well, yeah, because their government at the time you were there were all in prison, apart from the leader who is in Belgium.
Would you know there was a riot the day we left? We just got out of that one in time.
Well, they didn't want you to go, obviously.
No.
And that is it. Practice 1 reaches conclusion, and Bottas and Hamilton obviously topped the time charts with Verstappen. Leclerc and Vettel
Top
are
5.
doing have done well. We must say when they do well.
Yeah.
We must encourage them, but I don't think that'll be for the rest of the weekend. If it is, wow, fantastic! We've got a three-way tie for second place.
I'm just thinking that's not going to be it. I think you're right. There's something else going on.
Because if Leclerc has
Yeah.
if they've corrected some of the things wrong with the car, then you've got to add Leclerc into the mix.
Leclerc's got to be in it. Right, okay, let's have a quick look at the safety car for some reason on track limits at turn 1 and 2.
We're just showing where you'll get into trouble. If you do this,
which is go off at turn 1 and 2.
Yeah,
and don't go through the sleeping policeman bollard. Which is interesting because they've got the MotoGP long penalty lap route, and I'm not sure they're going to go there. I'm not sure why they just haven't taken the long lap penalty. Is Renault going to be strong? Well, we've got Ocon in 12th and Ricciardo 18th, but I think they could be fighting for the top 10.
All depends on the temperature of qualifying and the temperature of the race, because Renault seem to have a car that does better when it's hot than it does when it's cool.
Yeah, so that seems to be an issue. Carlos Sainz had a little lock-up down at turn 1 as well, and did he go through the penalty lap loop? Yes, he did.
Good boy, Carlos.
And the right side
Anybody
of the bollard.
think your dad was a rally driver?
World champion rally driver.
If he had a handbrake, he'd have done a handbrake turn there.
Roy Nissany, great session for him.
Yeah, good session for the kid.
What, 3/10 off the pace of Latifi? Yeah, 3/10 off. That's not bad. That's a great lap time. So well
he
done,
hasn't
Roy.
done as well as George would have done, but he's not expected. But he has come very close to Latifi.
Yeah, and that's the interesting part.
That is what his goal was.
I am wondering as well. Is Roy Nissany now got to hop over to Formula 2?
I don't know.
That could be a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, because I've got to hop over to Formula 2.
You've got to hop over to Formula 2. I think I've got a lunch break now.
Oh,
for a little bit.
Of course he has.
Yeah, not yet. Don't go yet. Because we've just got to finish the session as we're still live. Yeah, so that's it for our live coverage of the weekend. We only do FP1. Hopefully in future, we are looking at doing watch-alongs for the race.
You said something about practice 3.
No, that was you.
Oh, good.
That was you. No, you'll be in qualifying in the race for the highlights as well. That's coming up. So yeah, if you want to listen to more of our commentary, we are on the Grand Review podcast on Wednesday on the YouTube channel, and that includes the commentary highlights from the race and from qualifying as well. So watch that as well. What about Sergio? Well, we'll give you a full rundown in a minute, but Perez was 7th in that session, and he was quicker than Stroll. Very impressive on his return.
Yet again, we don't know what the others were up to.
Yeah, everyone was keen. Everyone was not.
Everyone
did
the job in the top 10. Everybody did the job fine.
Yeah,
but you just get this feeling that some people are just got testing out too much aero. I mean, the Ferraris themselves had a setup at the back, didn't they?
They had the rigs at the back with Charles Leclerc, yeah. So it won't be until FP2 that we find out, actually. So let's give you the full rundown then of the first practice session for the Spanish Grand Prix of 2020. Valtteri Bottas is on top at 1:16.785. Lewis Hamilton is second, Max Verstappen third. 3 drivers within a second of each other. Charles Leclerc is fourth, Sebastian Vettel fifth, Romain Grosjean sixth, Sergio Perez seventh, Alexander Albon eighth, Kevin Magnussen ninth, and Lance Stroll rounds out the top 10. Carlos Sainz is 11th, Esteban Ocon 12th, Lando Norris 13th, Pierre Gasly 14th, Antonio Giovinazzi 15th, Kimi Raikkonen 16th, Danny Kvyat 17th, Daniel Ricciardo 18th, Nicholas Latifi 19th, and Roy Nissany in 20th place. That was an okay session, but she said there's a lot more to do.
Yeah, but there's nearly 2 seconds between the 10th and the 1st.
Yeah.
Right. That suggests that a lot of aero work was going on there, because if that was the case in qualifying,
that would be a worry.
That would be a worry for the race.
So that's it for our live coverage this weekend. We're back later on this afternoon with the Friday practice review. Tomorrow.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Tomorrow we will be in for the Saturday practice review. Sunday, it's me and Dad once again to take you through the Sunday race preview, the Sunday race review, and we have the Grand Review podcast on Wednesday, which would include highlights of commentary from the race. Megan's not here this weekend. She'll be back for the Belgium Grand Prix. So Ian Birch and Joshua Birch are 2 commentators. Thank you for all listening. Like and subscribe to the video and turn on your notifications. We're live for the majority of Free Practice 1 sessions this year.
And another McLaren challenge this weekend on Sky. Now,
It's milk.
I've seen lots of this.
Yeah.
The milk is brilliant.
Yeah, we're being told we need to head off air. So,
Right.
thank you for listening.
Thank you.
This has been a YouTube production. We're live here. Thank you very much for joining us. From us all here, though, take care. It's bye for now. Don't go yet.